Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Love peeling back the curtain on this show and unveiling actual conversations that are held off air. And this one is a super conundrum. Good morning, it's PJK, 92.1 City. And you know what? The PJK Extra on our podcast is also really good for the peeling back of the curtain because we have conversations that we don't necessarily have during the show. But anyway, so this is funny. So we're not exactly sure if we have a meeting with the boss today. So Joe and I are discussing it. So what do you do in these situations? Joe's like, do we ask him?
No, I didn't say we ask him. I said we don't ask him.
And I said,
you can't ask.
I said, no, you just assume we don't have one and pray for the best.
I always think the worst, though. Mm-hmm. I always look at worst case scenario. So I'm set up that it's happening.
Yeah.
Even that way, if it doesn't happen, it's a bonus.
That's how I like to run things, too, because then it's like you almost do yourself a favor. Like, at least, I think it's less, it's less of a headache, like stressing about whether it's happening or not, if you just tell yourself that it is happening, and then if it doesn't happen, you're happy about it.
Okay.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. And
yeah,
the reason
I think so too.
The reason we're confused is we moved into a new building, right? As we've been talking about all week on Scurfield from Osborne Village, and Iron Mike was like canceling meetings because we'll wait to reschedule the meetings till we're all up and running in the new building, and I'll advise. So now we're sort of, in limbo, and we were just chatting about it off air. The things that come up in this room. Anyway, Early in the morning, too. It's only
we're already looking to the end of the show. What's happening? Listen, I wouldn't mind like a welcome to the neighborhood barbecue or something. I was hoping something like that was going to happen.
Like people who work in this area in the business community.
Yeah, they do it. They do it in your neighborhood when you move in. Why not?
Like a potluck?
No. Barbecue, Kirby. Barbecue.
I like a potluck.
Yeah.
So
do
much
we have to revisit history and you and potlucks?
No, I have come very far from the history of my
yes,
potluck
you have
come a long way.
But I didn't want to bring something to work.
No chance.
I just wanted to be invited somewhere from work.
Fair.
Invited somewhere to go have a barbecue.
Yeah.
It would be nice if people who work on Scurfield would have done a little more for us as we move in here. By the way, Curbs, you're very low today. What's going on? Do you not have your higher chair?
Well,
she's using the higher chair.
You are? Okay, you seem low.
I keep hitting my knee on this desk, so I had to lower the chair because Joe said I didn't take his advice to lower the chair yesterday, and then I hit my knee this morning, and I was complaining about it, and he was like, I don't have any sympathy for you because you didn't take my advice to lower the chair.
Is that
so? I'm the one complaining. Is that the? Hold on, Can we rewind the tape on how this really went down? Do we have time?
We do not.
I went down the hall to grab my water.
Yeah.
Walked back in, and this is all I heard as soon as I walked through the studio door. My knee. And I said,
it hurts.
No, I understand. But I said, we went through the same process yesterday, and I told you had to drop down your chair a little bit. And that's all I said. And then it was like, I got this look like, what, no sympathy? And I gave her the look back like, yep, you're right, no sympathy, because you could have taken my advice. That's how it went down.
So that's why I'm sitting lower today, Phil.
Okay, I'll have to. Maybe I'll raise my chair because all I can see is your eyes behind your monitor over there.
I kind of look like the neighbor in Tim the Tool Man Taylor.
Yeah, a little bit.
It defeats the purpose of having the high chair for you now because they either that or they have to cut out another space out of this table.
I'm a low rider over
so
here.
So your knees don't hit.
Speaking of high chairs, remember eating a high chair when you were little and the mess you could make on that thing? Cheerios everywhere, milk.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we need around here.
Yeah, we do.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Good morning, PJK. I'd like to throw this out there for your music director guy, girl, whoever does that. Like the Super Tramp, just wondering, when is going to be the Metallica week, and when is going to be the Iron Maiden week. Yeah. Let's go, Jets. Let's go, Bomber.
Yeah, Maiden's probably the top request we're getting
That's good to know, though.
for the music features, and Metallica a close second.
Next week's a pretty good one, I think. Can I go with it?
Go.
Ozzy.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Prince of Darkness, baby. Let's go.
We have a good library there, and some deep tracks will be fantastic. And Ozzy, of course, just went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and kept his speech quite short, actually, last weekend.
I'd like to think that we already play a decent amount of Metallica.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's so
true.
many. The key is with the deep tracks.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, how do you know that? You're like the insider. You're like the music feature insider. Or was that a common email that I just missed?
About
Ozzy, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just read between the lines a little better.
Okay, good.
It was an email.
It was an
Yeah.
email? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Well, that's where I read between the lines on the email. It was line 4 or 5. That's too deep.
I didn't read any of the lines, so I'm glad you have that information. Okay, had a guy call yesterday talking about transmission, like standard, automatic, and I believe we going forward, we will now have a name for him.
Hey, it's the caller from today about the standard and automatic transmissions. First of all, I appreciate you playing the message because I know I'm an exceptionally aggressive asshole. If you want to give me a nickname, we'll use the one that one of my buddies gave me. You can call me Rooster. But long story short, the argument is, if you can't drive a standard, what the makes you think you can drive an automatic? Where it's easier to crash and you're more likely to make mistakes because you're not focused on driving.
Okay, and he kind of voiced a similar opinion yesterday that you should learn on a standard.
Well, one of the questions I asked yesterday, because of the way the call laid out, is so Rooster must be local. Remember, because he was basically saying Winnipeg drivers, and I didn't realize the way the call was framed, if he was from in town, outside the city, or from outside the province. But it sounds like Rooster. That's a great nickname, by the way.
Can I tell you guys a quick story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on
Okay.
the clock to make sure it's quick, though.
So basically, this reminds me, when we were talking about standard vehicles yesterday, it reminded me of this situation I got myself in with a guy I was dating in my first year of college when I moved to Calgary, who got arrested while we were out driving because he had too many tickets that were unpaid. And then I was left with this man's vehicle on the side of the road, and it was a standard, so I didn't know what to do because I wasn't about to drive it.
You're telling me and the rest of this audience that someone from the Calgary Police Force arrested the guy you were out on a date on because of
Yes.
tickets, and they left you behind in the car?
Yes.
Wow.
And so I called a cab and just left the man's car there and never talked to him again.
It's amazing that they didn't. Yeah, and it's amazing they didn't check with you and say, "Do you know how to drive this, man?" Because it's
Yeah.
not nothing to do with you. It's not your fault.
100%.
Yeah,
Right.
wow.
I
You
mean,
missed
that
the
was
back
a
end of that story.
Very long time ago.
They never dated again.
That's amazing.
The guy couldn't afford to take you out after all
I'm
those
not gonna
tickets.
lie. I was like, "Wow, this is terrifying." Like,
Sure.
like,
What a
I gotta start
badass.
paying attention more to these men I'm picking.
Clearly. All right. Guilty. Met him at the Grace Gala the other night, honoring the one, the only Joe Aiello. And, of course, I was on and on about the delicious cake at the gala.
All right, Silly! Silly! Man, I can't believe that you didn't smuggle out some of that lemon cake.
Almost did.
I can't believe it. You were looking for a back exit. And the pictures? Well, they always have to stay in the archives. It's just Joe and I got the pictures and film at 11.
Damn.
But okay, let's do it. We'll do it at the virtual golf. Kirby, have you got that organized yet?
Oh, yeah.
Because I've already got
God.
the place, the time, and we're going to do it for charity, unless you know. I left the phone.
I told you it's going to be an Olympic
Oh,
event.
boy.
It'll be about 4 years from now.
What is it, Karen? Karen with a Y? Is that?
She wants in too.
Yeah,
She's
we're-
willing to
we're-
help you.
We're working on the planning phase right now.
She said she'll handle all the logistics and even pick you and Vinny up.
And I'm
are.
waiting. I'm waiting for those deets.
Okay, let's wrap with Hooligan. Time change. When's that time change, Joe? It's not this week.
Early November, though. It's early this year in November.
And he's got some thoughts here.
So as I enjoy my 2 weeks off for fall fishing and listen to favorite radio show of all time. Yes, you guys know it. Give yourself a round of applause. Listening to the cackling about the time change and this and that. And, first, I don't want everybody get so crazy. It's like, I've been working Sundays for 38 years. If anybody should bitch about it, it's me. But I don't. It's one bloody hour. But the thing is, heard the news yesterday out east, Eastern provinces are taking a poll about they should cancel it, and then which time zone should they stay in. And then the thing is, the daylight savings time and that was implemented in World War I. And from what I understand, for the farmers too later on. But you know what? I think the war is over. So, I don't know why we keep changing it back and forth also, but it's never affected me. I'm crazy as I always was. It doesn't get any better or any worse with the time change. So I don't want people go crazy. I lose an hour of sleep. Like, honest to God, people, it's not like a 6-hour change.
Okay, there you go.
So it's November 3rd, and it's actually fallen back. So that means you're gaining an hour this time. But
if I could turn back time.
That's it. He's actually right about the fact that two arguments are, why do we flip back and forth for some? Some people say it doesn't bother them at all and just keep doing it. Mm-hmm. But the bigger argument is, if you do believe they should stop at 1, which one?
Yeah.
Because do you like your daylight at night? Or do you want more of it in the morning, right? So
I prefer more of it at night, but
yeah,
everybody's got an opinion on this. Thank you very much, Hooligan. That's the bone phone.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
You wake up after a one-night stand, you're like, oh, wow, I don't remember much about last night, but I'm a long way from home.
I would say that song came pre-GPS, too. No one takes the long way home anymore.
Don't you hate it, though, when you rely on GPS and it takes you some stupid way and you're like, GPS, really?
What the hell? It's a new area.
What did this save me, 15 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It still hasn't figured out the traffic circles in Bridgewater, by the way, if you've ever
throws it off.
In.
Okay, I totally forgot to play this in the bone phone at 6:20, and I feel terrible. One of our favorite people, one of our favorite regulars, Hot Dog Guy.
Hey, yo, Hot Dog Guy. Just calling to wish myself a happy birthday on October the 24th, because I know my useless friends won't call me. No, I'm just kidding. I love all you guys. My birthday's mentioned in the first Lord of the Rings, too. When Frodo wakes up, Gandalf's sitting next to him. He says, it's October the 24th, if you must know. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, I also quit drinking 4 years ago last Thursday, so I got that going for me. Still going strong. And, so I'm just going to celebrate today. Not expecting a Facebook post from Kirby, because apparently she doesn't do that.
Nope.
I'm just going to keep on keeping on and having a good day. And if you guys have time, maybe throw a little Disturbed on or some Credence. That'd be great. All right, take care. Cheers. Oh, yeah. It's fall supper season. Yeah.
So the Disturbed, and here's what reminded me. I had slotted in Disturbed for right after the bone phone because of that call, which and then I forgot to play the call.
That's okay. We got another birthday that we had on the Boston Pizza text line this morning. It says, good morning. Just wondering if you can do a birthday shout out and wish Curtis a happy birthday from Allison.
Curtis, happy birthday.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, Hot Dog Guy, though, that's one of the best birthday foods right there. Like, Hot Dog Guy probably had great birthday parties growing up. With a name like Hot Dog Guy, that's a lot of pressure, because hot dogs were always a great birthday choice for kids' birthdays when I was growing up. I know it's gotten a lot better. Pizza's obviously a great choice, too, but when you're Italian, you have pizza all the time.
So hot dogs would have been a nice change.
Yeah.
You're right, though. No one's complaining about hot dogs.
No.
You're serving them up. You're barbecuing a bunch of dogs. Who's saying no? Absolutely nobody.
You can't go wrong, especially with children, because, it's just easy. A bag of buns, some hot dogs, you get some ketchup. They're not really picky. They don't want anything more than ketchup often.
You got to throw the loot bag in there now?
The loot bag.
I love loot
the
bags.
surprise bags.
Yeah, they're good.
Yes.
I don't care how old you are. You can still look through a loot bag if your kid comes home with a loot bag going. It's like Halloween just around the corner. You don't think parents... I've eaten a whole box of those 100 snack things already myself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you get hockey cards in there usually if it's a boys' party. I'm not sure about the girls' parties. And then you get the little chocolate bar, some gum like that. They're loaded.
I remember I did a Halloween party a couple of years back, and I did adult versions of treat bags, and they all came with like a Gatorade, a bottle of Advil, and like stuff for hangovers the next
yes.
day.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
People thought
Fantastic.
it was hilarious.
Adult loot bags. I've never thrown one of those together.
No.
No, I don't throw a lot of parties.
Not a safety kit. Call it whatever you want, but no.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast. Philly Joe and Kirby's
Throwdown Thursday.
Okay, with Halloween just a week away, there were so many options as far as coming up with a Throwdown Thursday. A Halloween theme is tempting, and that's what we went with this morning. I mean, we thought of several ideas, but we have talked about, Jason versus Michael Myers, Leatherface in there. Would You Rather, we had Pennywise. So we've kind of talked about a lot of that. So we went a little bit different this morning, and that is Dracula versus Frankenstein.
Two iconic figures.
It's actually movies. There's actually movies. If you Google it, Dracula versus Frankenstein. I haven't seen said movies. I assume they're mostly black and white.
It's interesting, too, because there's been a lot of books. There's been, actually, you're talking movies that go back as far as probably the 30s, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
With both characters.
Mm-hmm.
Both monsters.
We got a 1971 Dracula versus Frankenstein. I mean, Dracula's a vampire, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, so
he can like shape shift, mind control. I mean,
immortal unless
the teeth.
I guess not immortal, right? Because the stake through the heart.
Right. That's how you kill
a
him.
Vampire.
Yeah, or wear garlic.
Like there's only a certain way that you can kill a vampire to my knowledge.
He
which
just
is,
told you.
Yeah, the stake through the heart.
Yeah, I don't know of any other way to kill a vampire. I mean, look, this is why we talk about it. Feel free to weigh in on any of this. Boston Pizza text line 762-555. Frankenstein just doesn't seem. I don't know. Like, I love him. He's easy to love. He's.
Well, you feel for him.
He's a man-made experiment gone wrong.
Monster.
He just wants to be accepted a lot of the time.
Yeah, like I visualize people from the town with torches chasing Frankenstein around.
Yeah, so they're not showing much empathy.
No.
But a lot of the blame for his monstership came from bad parenting, apparently. It was about the upbringing, not having a lot of friends. And, Dr. Frankenstein created this monster, right? And it was basically a monster created by man. Mm-hmm. And then Dracula was a monster that basically looked like a man, but really a beast.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is you have to break it down in layers here. I'm not very good with blood. I'd probably pass out, so I can't see myself. But I like being up at night. Mm-hmm. And Dracula was up at night, slept during the day. That's not a bad life. It reminded me of my teenage years. Up late, get up late.
The garlic, though, in an old school Italian household, Joe.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have garlic in the house if you're Italian Dracula family. But Frankenstein, a lot of problems there. A lot of surgeries, that kind of thing.
Get the bolts in the neck.
And listen,
multiple different body parts sewn
I'll tell you right now, you don't want to be Frankenstein with today's healthcare system. That's going to be tough. I'm going to go with Dracula. I'm going with Dracula. Well, I'm thinking modern times, Kirby.
People are pointing out that sunlight also kills Dracula.
Yeah, that's right. They're not very good with sunlight.
But
look, I'm just being honest here. If you're going to socialize, look at the ladies that Dracula always seemed to draw in the movies and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
Frankenstein
there's a reason.
didn't have a long
what's the
lineup.
walk and the bolts?
No, I mean, that's a little clunky.
He's
Clunky
really,
going out.
He's such a nice guy. He's got these bolts in his neck, and he's got a really clunky walk, but he's got a great personality.
His arms don't match
He
because they
doesn't.
were sewn on from two different bodies. But I
doesn't-
mean, hey.
He doesn't dress very well.
No, he's not.
But
not a good
Dracula's
dresser
always
either.
got the cloak on and stuff. But
He's got like that laugh.
I still remember Gary Oldman playing Dracula in the scene where he goes, "It's Dracula," like
so
they give
good.
the name with the accent and that. So I'm going to go Dracula.
I'm going Frankenstein. I love the guy. He got a bad.
Well, you both walk with stiff legs.
He's
That's
got
probably
the stiff legs.
makes sense.
Thank
There
you,
you
Joe.
go.
I relate to the man. I'm always going to root for him. So how do I go against
He's
him?
misunderstood.
Give me Frankenstein.
How about you, Kirby? They're both misunderstood in their own ways.
Honestly, I just can't help but be like a fan of vampires because look at all the franchises that have come out of vampires, right? Like True Blood, loved that series. Twilight, where they all sparkled in the sun.
I'm quite interested, though. You go to bed before it gets dark. That's when, you could never date a Dracula.
That's very accurate.
Never see each other.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Speaking of movies and Thursday Throwdown, one of our favorite, if not our favorite action star, certainly Joe's, Liam Neeson.
He's become mine, yeah.
And Kirby, you saw this on a talk show, or was it a magazine article that he is what? He's going to hang up his action movie cleats? Like Kirby hung up her golf cleats?
Yeah. To quote the man, he says, I'm 72 and it has to stop at some stage.
No, it doesn't. Why?
Well, some would argue that the action part of the action movie for Liam Neeson stopped a while ago, but I still like watching his movies. Like, there's just not as much action. He doesn't run very well, obviously, after people, in some scenes. A lot of it's more stationary, sedentary scenes, but there's just something about Liam Neeson. I got to watch his movies.
Me too. I love them.
Yeah.
I don't see them all. They're coming out about every 3 weeks these days.
Well, this one's coming out, the new one in November, and it already had me confused because it sounded like one I've already seen.
Yeah, you swore you had seen it, which
Yes.
is amazing because you must have saw a bootleg copy. But then we realized
No, I didn't.
You have not seen it.
No.
Absolution?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
they
that's
just
it.
renamed it.
Yeah.
That's all that happened. But basically, I don't know if you knew this or not, but like he has done all of his own fight scenes, and that's kind of the reason why he wants to end his action movie career next year at the end of 2025, because he says that you can't fool audiences, and he doesn't want any stuntman to be doing his fight scenes for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, I said I saw that running scene from a couple of movies ago, and I felt for him because I'm younger than Liam, and I can't run that fast to a fence, so I get it. And he's getting paid a lot more to try it.
You know what, though? It's an odd time to quit action movies because we all love them.
Yeah.
And he seems to have found with his last few movies this niche, another niche with old, retired CIA, Navy SEAL, gangster, where he's trying to go to a small town or he's trying to reconnect with family. And I'm done with that. I'm retired. And then he gets pulled back in. That's been the plot of the last couple of movies.
It's been done so much. Jason Bourne, Rambo, like they all have that kind of plot where it's like they're trying to outrun their crime career and leave it behind them, and somehow it finds them.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. But then in the next breath, I'm saying I'm not done with it. Let's go, make more.
Yeah.
I'm totally comfortable with more Liam Neeson attempting to retire from his past.
The bucket list is empty though for him now because he's covered planes, trains,
Wolves,
automobiles,
Ice
and
road trucks.
the trucks,
kidnappers,
and yeah.
Where does he go next?
Yeah. So
Where
and
does one go?
He's done his romantic comedies, and I got to be honest, they're not as good. Like he had a great role in Love Actually. It was one of the scenarios there, and that was okay
I
because it
think
was
he
Claudia
should do
Schiffer.
more romance movies.
No.
The guy has it,
No.
He could pull it off.
He has. He's done that.
Charming.
But he's better in these roles.
You know what though? He's playing Frank Drebin in the reboot
Yes,
of
he
Naked
is.
Guns. So that
He'll be good with that.
I think he'll do pretty good. Although he's got massive shoes to fill because Leslie Nielsen was so good.
As long as he doesn't turn to children's movies, like Arnold did with back in the day.
No,
Like
he's past
Kindergarten
that
Cop.
point.
Yeah.
He's got the grandpa. Kick-ass
Well, he's got
grandpa
that in
thing.
this new movie.
Absolution.
But that's a kick-ass movie. It's not a kid's movie.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Philly Joe and Kirby's completely useless question.
Useless with a capital Y.
So useless.
brought to you by Midtown Ford.
$100 GC up for grabs this morning from Fat Burger, baby. 780 City, 780 2484. JoJo has the question.
Well, I've noticed on some streaming sites they're really pushing hard, and why not? You're a week out from Halloween, but like Netflix has a whole genre of horror flicks and that kind of stuff. Disney, all that stuff. So 1/3 of people say they do this after watching a horror movie. What is it? 1/3 of people say they will do this right after watching a horror movie.
780. Oh, hello? Oh, that didn't work. What the hell? Okay,
New phone system.
Oh, you should see this thing, too. It looks like it belongs like in a spaceship.
Isn't it funny, too? Because you can't just say it's a new phone because you're going, well, how much of a problem could be a phone? But this thing's like a computer.
There's a lot of buttons going
There's
over
a
there.
video
Philly,
on
you're
it.
not allowed to take a day off anytime soon.
There's a video?
I looked down at that thing. You said, hey, look at the phone. And I thought it was just like a small TV. Like there's some
I know,
screen
it's
there with
crazy.
video showing.
Hello, City.
Hey, Philly?
Yeah. You got a guess?
Oh, you want a
Philly,
lifeline?
Oh, sorry. A lifeline.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm going to
sorry.
say they try to have relations with their partner after a horror movie.
You were
what?
try.
Yeah. They might be sleeping already, and the nudge doesn't always work.
It's a great answer, too, because of the, excitement, right? The adrenaline that's flowing. But no, it's not even in the top 5. But that'd be worth a chance, Phil.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
I'm so scared. Can you hold me?
Yeah.
Quote, hold me. Hi, City.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. Do you have a
Morning.
guess for us?
Is there any lifelines left?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Philly or Kirby?
Let's go Kirby morning.
Kirby.
Okay. I'm going to say they take a shower because they were sweating it out.
No,
Like,
and actually, that's one of the most horrific scenes ever in Psycho. If you remember the last thing. Okay, yeah, good answer, but no.
There was a time where I would not go in the bathroom unless I looked behind the shower curtain to make sure
Right.
that I was alone.
Good call. There's no one in here. Good. I can have a shower.
Yeah,
Hi, City.
Good morning.
Hey, you
I'm
got
going
to.
to say lock the doors.
that is number 2. Make sure the doors are locked around the house. Turn the TV off. Check the perimeter of the house and everything else. But hey, it's number 2.
Check your bushes. Is there anybody out there? What the hell? 780 City, 780 2484. Fat Burger GC on the line this morning. Go ahead with your guess.
Let's say watch a cartoon.
That is number. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3.
Watch a cartoon. to-
Watch a comedy or cartoons was tied
Alleviate
for
the,
number 3. Stress.
Yeah.
Brighten your mood a bit so you don't go to bed terrified. Hi there.
Yo.
They bailed. 780 City. Hi.
How's it going?
Good, man.
Philly, please.
Philly for the win.
Turn all the lights on.
Hello.
Yeah!
Phil Aubrey from downtown. Well, no, actually from Skirfield. From 25 feet. Yes.
The lights. I do have a night light. Do you guys have night lights?
No, the kids do. But
I have one in the bathroom because I don't like turning the full light on when you go to the bathroom.
That's different, though. You're not using that because you're scared. You're using that so you can find your way without turning on the big light, because in the middle of the night, you don't want to open up your eyes fully.
That is very true.
And you want to be able to see if somebody's hiding behind the shower curtain, too. So
Absolutely.
lots of lights.
Yeah.
Live alone, but 'cause somebody could be in there. And why wouldn't they hide behind that that vinyl piece of material?
What a hiding spot.
Wow, I'm just going to sit down to pee, but look, I see a silhouette behind my vinyl shower
telling
curtain.
ya.
I bought at Dollarama.
My cats will scare the absolute,
Yes.
because sometimes they'll be in the shower and I think I'm alone and then one of them darts out.
Yeah.
Cats are freaky. Like, if they act like they see something behind a door or something,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like,
You're
whoa.
like, what do you see that I'm not?
Right.
Right.
Who's this?
This is Grant.
Grant, you want a $100 Fat Burger GC?
Awesome.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
$200 at Shoppers Drug Mart on the line right now with the prices right. Shoppers Drug Mart contest. Fill up the PJK basket. I will go first. And then once we fill up the basket, one item each, Kirby goes and runs it through self-check because I get confused sometimes with self-check and the lady has to come help me.
Well, as long as I get to use, I want the PC Optimum points.
Yeah, you can have them.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. The 3 items that we put in this basket, you got to tell us what the total combined price is. Before taxes, no sale prices. I will go first. I've always wanted one of these. The Pattern Beauty Satin Cap. The Pattern Beauty Satin Cap made of double-lined black satin. This luxurious cap is here to protect your curls. Great for a variety of hairstyles. Wear to maintain moisture and avoid pillowcase friction. Joe always complains about this. It can cause dryness and damage.
I'll tell you what, that's why I keep my hair so short now, just to get the curl out. These caps, though, the last time you forgot to take yours off and wore it into work with your outfit, Phil. Everybody got a chuckle.
Scrooge.
Hey, everybody got a chuckle.
They were laughing. I look like Seagal wearing a beret in one of his movies with my satin cap on around the office.
So
Honestly,
you're going...
that's a great product because I own one. So
You do own a satin cap?
I do. When I curl my
Okay.
hair and I want it to stay that way overnight for the next day, I'll sleep with it on and it works like a charm.
Every household needs one of these. That's why it's in the basket.
Get one for every member of the family.
Well, 2 out of the 3 in this room have one now.
Yeah, Joe, you're on the outside.
Go ahead. Who goes second? I don't even know.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'm only buying this product because I love the name. Drunk Elephant. I don't even know what it was until I had to look it up.
shocked.
It's a retinol cream.
Yeah.
Is
Rectal?
that- is-
Rectal cream?
No, retinol.
Retinol.
Not Recnol.
And I think I enunciated properly. Retinol. So this is like an anti-aging thing.
Yeah,
Called Drunk
yes.
Elephant.
It's a good brand.
What a great name.
Very popular with the youngins.
Excellent.
Well, that's why I'm buying it.
Well, look at the guy. He just exudes youth.
Kids, move out of the way. Where's the drunk elephant?
Okay, well, I'm actually shocked I don't own one of these. They're great for that time of the month. A Sunbeam Comfort Heat heating pad. So it's like a heating pad. And honestly, I think my cat's going to like it too. She'll want to lay on that.
Heating pads are not just for, they're good for what you mentioned.
Cramps, yeah.
Yeah. But heating pads are just handy if you got like the sciatica.
Yeah,
Sure.
like back pain, whatever you suffer with.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my
Best
case,
is when you leave it plugged in for over 24 hours and then you go sit down on the couch next to it.
you
That's
know what, Joe? This has a timer on it, so it won't do that.
There you go. And I can't believe you haven't picked one up yet.
I know. So that's the Sunbeam Conform heating pad.
Sunbeam, they got it all. Hey, you can get a blender from Sunbeam. You get a heating pad. They don't make the satin cap, though. That's Pattern Beauty satin
Well,
cap.
you and me are matching now, so.
Well,
that's
it's amazing how much common ground you two are on. Heating pads and nightcaps or with satin caps.
All right, let us know what the total combined cost of these items is before taxes. No sale prices. You could be getting yourself a GC from Shoppers Drug Mart.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Joe, you have more experience wearing a suit than I do. A lot more experience.
Right.
Like worlds more experience than I do. I wear a suit once a year, maybe twice.
Yeah.
Your gala, it was the Grace Gala honoring Joe Aiello. Fantastic, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
It was a great evening. But what I find with suits, especially, and Kirby, you could possibly weigh in on this too, because it's not like depending on what you're wearing, there's a lot of places to put things. And with especially suits today, they're like in the 90s, they were so baggy that, man, you could put wallets and keys. But nowadays, you go buy a suit, they're slimmer fitting than ever.
Yeah.
And I put a wallet in one pocket, the keys in the other, and then my phone in like the suit jacket pocket.
Right.
There's bulge. It's like
There's a lot of bulges happening in your pants.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't trying to talk about the bulge in my pants.
Well, I'm just pointing out the obvious here.
Right. Anyway.
That your pockets are full.
My pocket, thank you. The
I was
pocket.
going to say, how obvious was it? How many keys are
Well,
on
the guy
that?
said he's got his pockets full.
The pockets are full, and
It makes it uncomfortable walking.
It does. There's just two, and then sitting too.
Is it tight?
it just makes the suit feel a little tighter. It makes it feel like, wow, like all I can see on this suit is my giant wallet. So I don't know. What do you have a pro tip given your vast experience of wearing suits?
Well, some of my friends are pretty cheap. They leave their wallet at home on any given night when they go out. That's one. No, I think you just have to bulk down, like bring the necessities.
Some
your
cash.
driver's license, cash, and the one credit card. You can't carry the full wallet. You can't pull the Costanza wallet
well, that's
and put it in a suit. Phones are the biggest, clunkiest thing.
Yeah.
They really are. Because,
gotten bigger.
And you have the side pocket, but you can't put the phone in the side pocket because then the suit starts leaning one side, right? You have to put it on the inside.
Inside pocket. With the phone.
Oh, of the jacket.
Yeah,
And,
of the jacket.
Like I know women will put them inside their tops, like their cash. I know you've complained about that before.
Well, pockets are I'll always take a pocket. Like if there's dress that has pockets, I'm like, oh my God, I got to get this dress. That's amazing. It's got hidden pockets in it.
Yeah.
If anything, the sickest burn for a lot of us women is the pants that have the fake pocket, where it looks like it's a pocket, but it's sewn.
Yeah, that is
So
bad.
it's like you go to put something, oh no, it's a fake. It's for the illusion of a pocket.
That tricks you.
But you do know you can unseam that to make it a pocket, right?
Sometimes the
Like a
jeans,
suit
there are
jacket.
jeans though that don't have, like it's a weird fashion thing with women's clothing. But Phil, don't you have a fanny pack?
I'm not bringing that when I'm wearing a suit, though. I just don't think the two things work.
Well, can't you get a dressier fanny pack,
you
like
might
a
be on-
leather-bounded fanny pack?
Like a satchel or something where I can put all my things. A satchel?
So good. So good.
Bring a reusable grocery bag.
Please. Yeah.
That's really high end.
Hey, but it's environmentally friendly.
What do you got in there, Aubrey? Your lunch?
My keys.
No, it's my keys and my wallet.
Which one did he bring? Oh, he brought the red one. It goes well with his tie as an accessory for his suit.
Oh, that's PJK extra.
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, lock it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.